Hello and welcome to Tell the People, a program about our Catholic faith with news and information in and around the Catholic Diocese of Lafayette. I'm Stephanie Bernard. In today's show, Trista Littell has an interview with Bernard Boutte about the upcoming African American Catholic Youth Congress, while Michael Champine's talk is about the commandments in the segment What It Means to Be Catholic. And in a conversation with Bishop Michael Jarrell, Monsignor Richard Green interviews Bishop Jarrell about Labor Day. And now, Catholic news on the September 4th weekend. The Diocese of Lafayette Office of Worship has scheduled 5 regional workshops entitled Understanding the Changes in the Mass during the month of September. The purpose of the workshops will be to explain the changes in the New English translation of the Roman Missal, which will be officially implemented beginning with the first Sunday of Advent, which will be on November 27th, 2011. The first workshop will be held on Saturday, September 10th from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at Our Lady Queen of Angels Church in Opelousas. The second workshop will be held on Saturday, September 17th from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Church in New Iberia. The third workshop is scheduled for Saturday, September 24th from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary Church in Mir. The fourth and fifth workshops will both be held on the grounds of Our Lady of Fatima Church in Lafayette. One will be from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on the evening of Thursday, September 29th, and the other will be from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, October 1st. All of the workshops are open to the general public at no cost and with no registration required. Also, individuals should note that they are under no obligation to attend within their own region. They may attend any workshop which is convenient to them. Authentic Femininity is the theme of the first annual Woman-to-Woman Catholic Conference scheduled on October 15, 2011 at the Cajun Dome Convention Center in Lafayette. Jeanette Beckenvick, host of EWTN's Women of Grace series, will be the featured speaker. Women ages 18 and above are invited to attend the conference. Doors will open at 8 a.m. and the day's event will culminate with Holy Mass, celebrated by Father Edmund Silva, Theological Advisor to Women of Grace. Tickets are $40 and include a catered lunch. For further information about the conference, to purchase a ticket or make a donation to the Woman-to-Woman Catholic Conference, please visit their website at www.catholicwomensconference.org or call 337-356-6971. The Lafayette Diocesan Office of Justice and Peace has scheduled its 11th annual Campaign Against Poverty workshop for Saturday, October 29th. The workshop will be held from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. inside the Immaculata Center in Lafayette, located at 1408 Carmel Drive in Lafayette. This year's theme is God's People Can Wait No Longer. The $15 registration includes lunch, refreshments, and display place if it is needed. The workshop constitutes 3 hours of catechist certification and is ideal for teachers from both public and private schools. Others who will find it beneficial to attend the workshop include those who serve the poor and needy. This year's workshop will feature a keynote speaker, Mr. Tom Costanza, Director of the Office of Justice and Peace for the Archdiocese of New Orleans. Mr. Costanza's presentation will focus on understanding the economics of poverty. To register or request further details regarding the workshop, please contact the Office of Justice and Peace by calling 261-5545. That's all the time we have for Catholic news at this time. If you or your church parish has an item of interest for Tell the People, send us the information. We can use photos or videotape with your story. You tell us, and we'll tell the people. Coming up next, Trista Littell has an interview with Bernard Boutte about the upcoming African American Catholic Youth Congress.
Welcome to Tell the People. I'm Trista Littell, and with me here today we have Bernard Boutte, who will discuss with us the facilitators registration for the African American Catholic Youth Congress. Welcome, Bernard.
Thank you. Welcome.
It's good to have you with us today to talk about this Congress, this Catholic Youth Congress coming up. What's currently going on with that?
Right now we're accepting registrations for all high school age students who display a maturity level, not so childish per se, but those who show some form of maturity. The registration fee is $70. And our registration forms can be picked up either through our Office of Black Catholic Ministries or on our website, the diocesan website, which would be www.diolaf.org, Office of Black Catholic Ministries. Those forms can be found there.
So tell us, what is the AACYC?
The African American Catholic Youth Congress is a program for youth of the Diocese of Lafayette, and of course we also open it up to other dioceses. Where young individuals of the African American descent come together to praise and worship, offer cultural enrichment programs, seminars. We do have dance and skits, which we put out for the kids, which lead to better leaders, to create better leaders for their parish and for the world of today.
So when is this orientation?
We begin on September the 11th at 3 p.m. And generally we meet almost every Sunday up until the Congress, which is actually in November. The students come together because they're more or less responsible for the actual event of that day. They will put together the skits, the workshops, the praise and worship, the dance, and they have some input in the keynote speakers as well. They formulate the entire day, which is definitely always a wonderful success because this year we're celebrating our 30th anniversary.
Wonderful. Now, is there a fee for this?
There is a fee. The registration fee is $70. That $70 does cover everything that we do in preparation for the Congress with these facilitators. That covers their T-shirts, any meals that we provide during that time from September to November, any supplies that they will need in preparations for the Congress the day of, and sometimes that includes their skit props, the dance uniforms, things of that nature.
Now, what is the criteria for the facilitators?
The criteria for facilitators, we expect that, first of all, they have to get permission and have to be submitted by their pastor and or youth leaders, youth ministers in their parish. They must, as I said before, exemplify some level of maturity. We look for young people who can work with others in a group setting as a team player. Those who are definitely good Catholic Christians who exemplify some type of leadership role within their parishes. And sometimes pastors will send us those who they know have the potential and it just hasn't been brought out yet. And we usually try to send them back to the parish on fire for God. These individuals are definitely ready, and then we also accept some of our former facilitators who come back and help to get the new kids on the block per se ready for that leadership role.
Well, and that's the beauty of them coming back and giving back. Now, tell me about some of the traits that y'all are looking for. Like you said, leaders. They exemplify what it is to be a young Catholic Christian, and their responsibilities involve the planning and participating in the overall program. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, they have to have a servant's heart. They have to be flexible and open to the will of God. We don't want children who are out there with bad behaviors. I mean, the thing is to set these leaders out where they will reach out and touch their peers and hopefully touch something in their heart that brings them back and closer to Christ, to let them know that the church is here for them and we will always be here for them. That there's, sometimes they don't feel like there's a spot for them in today's church. And we're here to say, no, there's always a spot here for you because you are today's church and tomorrow's church. In other words, come to the water and let us give you his water, that ever living water. that they take back to their parish is on fire, and reach out to the other youth in their parish to let them know that they belong there and they have a place in today's church. We do anything and everything that we can to empower them and show them all that there is that the church has.
Now, you want to tell them where they might be able to go once again for information on this?
Yes, they can either call our office, the Office of Black Catholic Ministries, which is 337-261-5694, and they can speak to Ms. Stephanie Bernard, or they can go to the diocesan website and go to the Office of Black Catholics page, which would be www.diolaf.org/Office of Black Catholic Ministries. And you should be able to download the form from there.
Now we have just a minute or so left. Would you like to tell them about something else that's going on in the Office of Black Catholic Ministries?
Right now, unfortunately, I don't know all that's happening, but we are a little bit in conjunction with the Office of Vocations, and we do have another program that's also going to be happening. This one is actually happening in September the 16th to the 18th, and that is Life Awareness Vocation Retreat, Discernment Retreat. It is open to all high school students up to age 45, and it's males and females. We accept all who are discerning a vocation call to the sacred priesthood or religious life. And for that, they can also contact the Office of Vocations, and they will, or their parishes. And for both events, those events are publicized in parishes, hopefully in their bulletins. But if they can't find them there, they can always go to the diocesan website and either go through the Office of Black Catholic Ministries or the Vocations Office.
Yes, our website has it's just a wonderful tool for finding out what's available through the Diocese of Lafayette. Well, Winard, we certainly thank you for being with us today, and we would just like to tell everyone to stay tuned because there's more to come on Tell the People.
Thank you, Trista and Winard. Coming up next, Father Mike Champine's talk is about the commandments in the segment, What It Means to Be Catholic.
A warm welcome to our viewers as we return to Tell the People What It Means to Be Catholic. We're treating, if you're just joining us, the Ten Commandments. We're treating the big section, the moral life of the Christian, and in particular the Ten Commandments now, and we're in the Second Commandment, Part 2. Last time we treated the first part of the Second Commandment, which is that of thou shalt not use the Lord God's name in vain. And using the Lord's name in vain, we started off last time looking at the respect due to the mystery of God as God revealed His name on Mount Sinai to Moses in the book of Exodus. And that name, so holy, it reflects the mystery of the person. And so not to utter that name with speech or to use speech in any way with regard to God in something that would be improper to God. And so we looked at the positive reality of that last time about how we ought to be able to give reason for the faith that's within us, that we share in the prophetic role of Christ as baptized Christians, and we're all obliged to be able to do our part in spreading the Word of God by not only our deeds, but also by word, by speaking of Jesus, speaking of Mary, speaking of the saints and of the reality of the church and sanctifying grace and life. But this time we want to look at certain realities about the Second Commandment, of proscriptions about what we can't do because of the Second Commandment, what the Second Commandment forbids. And certainly, speaking about using the Lord's name in vain, using the Lord's name in a flippant way. For example, this is very common in our day without people being cognizant of it, but using the Lord's name, or Jesus Christ, or the Blessed Virgin Mary, by way of an exclamation, "Oh my," you see, or Jesus Christ, or some type of exclamation that is not used in a cursing sense, but in a way of not giving due respect